So hello all, Monday, welcome to my review. This is episode 10. So, I come for the action for a drama, right? It was a weird episode. I mean, it was a good episode, but it felt really weird. It's like, wait, is this a love story? It's actually about love or some kind of... maybe not, I would say romantic love, but also admiration, I guess, more and so on. Not just obviously like pure romantic love, also another factors for Tiger, yeah. But she enters there, she's like, oh, he's the man I wanted to be, or if he kind of has a mix of wanting to be him, right, or I want to be with him. It's a mix of that. So she ends up there meeting Ox in her flashback. He saves her, kind of. I mean, that's arguably like me saving her, not really, but he helps her, so to speak. He doesn't know she's not a warrior, right, and she can fight it herself. And after that, she's kind of like, oh yeah, I want to be like Ox. And doesn't recognize her. That's why she's angry. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong to her. I guess he forgot about that, but he didn't like go for her family, or they never fought at a war or something. He was just nice to her, and he didn't recognize her because he was nice to everyone, probably, right? All innocent girls. So yeah, she's pissed off, and that's why she wants to fight him and so on. Yeah, it's an interesting how that actually turned out there. But that being said, the episode was good, but it really is like. So yeah, Rabbit didn't die, which is great, because that would be really lame if he just like went out and like, oh, here I am, and yeah, so that was in his plan. So that was great. But it's a little annoying. We get the exact, I mean, it's kind of repetitive anyway, right? We get the exact same thing with most characters. We get the flashback, and after that they die. So yeah, so we get her 2 flashback episode, and as soon as we get, she actually is kind of have a crush on Ox. That's why she's angry at him. Oh, she's dead. Like that's the story, right? Yeah, like that's the story. And sure, this is much more dragged out. It's more romantic. He kind of takes her, goes away with her, tries to save her. She's like, oh, I should kiss him. No, I'm not that one of those girly girls. I'm gonna ask him to like feed him off instead. I'm not gonna kiss him. No, I can't do that. I can't die like a girl. Yeah, and so on, right? So we get that. So it's different the older characters, but still, it's like shit, right? You see backstory is over. You see Dragon's backstory, 2 episodes of Dragon and Snake, and I actually like one of them really a lot, but one of them wasn't that good. We see that, right, and then he's over, yeah, and he's finished. It's like, so it's very repetitive in that sense, and it's kind of annoying because you kind of like, oh, it's actually kind of interesting here. Rabbit is, I mean, I think it actually was pretty good how it resolved itself. How she was like, I kind of want that for a kiss, as I mentioned, but she didn't ask for a kiss because it doesn't really her personality, yada yada. But at the same time, I could also want to see them fight, right? See them fight, and she's like, I don't want to hurt him because I like him, or yeah, like that kind of thing, right? They also be interesting. It's like, I want to win, but I don't want to. So that also could have been a thing going there. So in that sense, if it's a little repetitive, or lost actually, they just go for the same thing as always. Oh, they insta lost as a flashback. It's kind of like, oh, you don't die on me here, instead of having to action on something else, right? So it's kind of like the same formula all over again. But the last part was good. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I really liked second half when she's at the tree, and especially when it kind of pans out and she's kind of like very, very gently kind of used to sword there, right, kind of behind the bushes there. It was very nice. Looked very, very beautiful scene. But I kind of wished it got there another way, to be honest. I think the episode was good, but it feels like an 8 out of 10 episode or so, just because it's so repetitive. It's kind of like a very cheap way to get there. I kind of prefer they actually would have fought instead. And then, she would be like, I have to prove to him that I am worth of him. She loses, but during this battle, he says, oh, I remember you now, or something like that. She's over there. He's like, damn it, I lost. She asks him for a kiss, because, or something like that. And she's like, no, you just, give me a worthy lose, or something like that. That could have been something else. They could have actually had kind of a similar, almost the same ending, but they could have gone on away. So, I think that's a little concerning. But the Rabbit is good. He's not out, so so he did that. But I mean, all other characters pretty much had the same thing, right? Monkeys. It's over. He lost. so yeah, it's a little like I think we've seen this before in this anime. Anyway, so Necromancer then is out. I love that. I don't want to see him lose yet. He looks so overpowered though. But I guess you can like burn him, like you could do with the horse, and he would lose. The tongue thing. I guess they actually like suicide idea that made him be able to necromancer himself, but it feels kind of weird because the necromancer things aren't that intelligent. So even if you tell his own like, okay, you're gonna do this after I'm dead, so we're gonna keep fighting him. I guess he could tell himself to work like that, but at the same time, like how would he? I don't know, how would he defeat the other guys like Rat? Then I guess he could tell him to defeat anything. Which, you know what I mean? So it's a little weird. Like, is he in control of that, or is he just like, is he following one order? How's he gonna ask for like the last? If he wins, how's he gonna ask for like the gift? Right? How's he gonna ask for the thing if he's just a zombie can speak? That's kind of weird. Is Monkey him maybe? I'm thinking that he might be Monkey. That he could like transfer his necromantic subconscious into another body maybe. So maybe it's into Monkey instead. And he could sacrifice his rabbit body and trick them. That could be a thing. He got another person. Yes, he's like 6 persons now. He's definitely, he can't lose now. Yeah, he has half the people. So he's definitely winning when it comes to count. Definitely. Great KDA ratio on this guy. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, and like his death rate doesn't really matter. So it's like, yeah, he's a great guy. Who knows? But I could see it happen actually being in the rabbit. I guess Ox is gonna go after him now. Next episode probably had Ox have a flashback, and then he probably beats Rabbit, right? And then Rat is gonna beat Ox, who is injured after beating Rabbit, I think. Or he just beats people because he's like has some weird power. That being said, though, well, actually I hope it'll be next week. Then what is Ox's power actually? We see it in Flashback 2. It's like it's just systematically good, right? What's her power actually? She's drunk or something. But that actually is kind of weird because in Flashback 2. They did recognize that was good. That's that last week. I was like, how did she get into the whole thing? So you see now, of course, she wanted to meet Ox, but her family is a tiger family, but her family isn't drunk, right? They hated her because she was a drunk. So why is her thing like drunken rage thing? It has nothing to do with her like abilities. She's drunk. She's just drunk. Nothing to do with her actually her martial arts side. It's like perfectly for her, but it's like. The other people have some kind of like, oh, I haven't had to reload. That's my family ability. It was like, what? And it's like, oh, I can fly. Oh, I can like hear vibrations. Okay, so sky and earth. So kind of weird monkey thing. We can like the mattress thing. Weird, never really shown that. I guess he's probably a monkey now, so you can see monkey's powers. Was it also one, right? Horse actually is like kind of like, I have high defenses. Horse was weird actually. Rat has some kind of inbound thing now. She can control birds. Dog has some poison thing. But what's her power is like, I'm drunk. I'm pretty good when I'm drunk. But that's not even her family power. That's what I mean. Like, the other people have like, oh, I heard this, my family. Snake and Dragon, like, oh yeah, our clan has this kind of ability. We can fly. My father can fly. And so that kind of same thing. She's like, oh, I hate my family, but I have drunk power. She's like, it's kind of weird. That was explained in this episode at least. Which I feel is a little poor. I wish a little more consistency and how the power works. But yeah, pretty good episode overall. But I will say though, as always, try. I prefer forget about that. The animation quality, wow, it sucks again. I didn't mention that yet because there was less of that this episode. Because her flashback and Ox, I guess, were kind of half the episode, so right, first half. And before that, they had longer. It was very, very notorious again that the flashback quality was horribly compared to the present time, which looks way better. But also, it's also annoying, but it's like, I think I would prefer if the flashback quality stayed the same. And I don't mean like this compared to episode 1, we had much better quality. I just mean like in the same episode. Because there are a couple of scenes there, especially where it is winter city, where it's snowing and so on. And like, in a few scenes, Ox was pretty okay. And her face, which has the hat off, it looks like, it kind of looks at him kind of lustful there. That is, she looks great, not great, but compared to the rest of it, it looks really good. Yeah, compared to the rest of it, she was really good, right? And then 1 minute later, in the same flashback, they kind of pan out, and they kind of walk, and it looks really, really bad. And then in this 10, then it looks pretty okay again. And then after 10, it looks really bad again. And then it's like, it goes to her exercising and training, getting like the martial art back. That is really, really ugly. Yeah, then it's like horrendously ugly suddenly when they're in the training. She kind of goes to the rope thing, and her body looks like really weirdly shaped, you know, like lack of joints. It looks really, really weird. So it's like, that's the worst part. Obviously, I would prefer it if the whole flashback. Well, if it had the kind of joint thing, then it'd be unbearable because that was really, really ugly. But it had like the consistency of like, let's say, kind of weird panning out the walking there, when it looks kind of the second worst quality of it. That was the whole quality all the time. I actually kind of prefer that than having like, let's say, present time is like 10 points and flashback goes like 1 to 5, right? I think I prefer having just 2 all the way. instead of having like 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, 3. So it keeps changing the forms and the shapes and everything. I think it makes it hard to watch. I mean, you can't just skip through it like, oh, yeah, whatever. She fell in love with him. Okay, she trained. Okay, it's over. Like that's kind of how you feel, yeah. Because like, oh man, why do you keep? And when her friend was there, they got her back into the whole thing, right? Her family. It was really horrendous there too. Not as worse as the military thing. That's like I'm 0 there, but then he went to 2 or 1 there. So it's like really weird how it's. As overall though, that after the Winter City, it was worse though. Yeah, like the flashback quality went down after that, and that was really ugly. So it was like 3 or 2, then like the 1 or 0. So whatever. I think the episode's still pretty good, but that is annoying. And I say again, I would prefer it if you kept like a 2 or 3 or something, and didn't jump from like 1 to 5 all the time, because it's like that makes it worse to watch. The average is still like 3 right there. So the average is better. The average mediocre quality is like good to bad quality back and forth. I mean good in the flashback level, not as good as the present time. So anyway, see you next week. Have a great day.